Alert, alert, U.S. CENTCOM has just come in with breaking news. Surprise attacks on U.S. soil, U.S. military bases now coming from the Iran Islamic Military Revolutionary Guard. Listen, sound the alarm, prepare, because they have already hit U.S. military bases in the Middle East, and they are saying the Jihad war is here. I cannot believe that this is heated up in the last 24 hours like this. Get this. Breaking, U.S. CENTCOM claims all of Iran's ballistic missiles were intercepted 6 hours ago, but there is footage and video suggesting otherwise, while locals are reporting the impacts on Jordan. So understand, when you hear war on U.S. soil, war on U.S. territories, when you are abroad as an expat, as an entrepreneur, as a retiree, as an American, and you are in the Middle East, the U.S. Embassy, the U.S. consulates, the U.S. military bases count as U.S. soil. This is breaking news. This is an attack on U.S. soil in the Middle East. And Ayatollah Khamenei, the new Ayatollah, has announced that jihad is ready. Jihad is coming. Prepare. People that are spiritual, I want to break this down for you as well, because I'm just listening to the Most High right now. I'm just listening to the Spirit of Yahusha, and I'm just thinking, wow. A lot of people say America has this coming. We shouldn't have done it, but I also want you to understand the spirit realm, because when we hear the word jihad, understand that to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, which by the way is an Islamic religious military, their goal is to hurt people who believe in the Bible, whether they are Christians, Israelites, whether they are Catholic. Get rid of all Americans. Now, here's the other thing that I'm seeing. I mean, this is crazy news coming in right now. American Airlines has been seated. They're not flying out American Airlines within America right now anymore. I'm continuing through here. I'm looking at the breaking news on APT News and CENTCOM as well, coming in 3 hours ago. They have not only confirmed Jordan military bases hit in the U.S., but now U.S. and Saudi strikes against Iran-backed groups in Iraq as the Middle East tensions escalate. So this is a back and forth clash. Clash report on Twitter says the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, continued multiple ballistic missiles from Iran at 5:45 p.m. Eastern yesterday in an attempt to surprise attack U.S. forces on their soil in the Middle East. I mean, I'm looking at these videos and it's just crazy. America is telling us that they did not penetrate the military bases, but videos are showing otherwise. I want you to be very aware. I want you to be very alert. I want you to understand the times. Do not fly through the Middle East. If you're in America, look out. If you are in Florida and California, these are the top 2 targets for Iran, because remember, Iran expressed jihad. This is a message that is now going out saying that they are going to try and attack and hit secret forces in Florida and California. Breaking news. I need you to be aware. I need you to put on strength, courage, your breastplate of righteousness, your shield of faith in the spirit, your shoes clad with the feet, your feet clad with the gospel of peace, your helmet of salvation, your sword of the spirit, which can cut in asunder into any perverse spirits. I want you to understand that this is spiritual warfare. This is Ephesians 5 and Ephesians 6 unlocking. This is Hebrews 6, where it says the disciples are going to have a faith that is so strong that it's not just professing repentance. That's the milk of the word. That's the basis. But we now need to grow into the meat and understanding spiritual warfare, geopolitics, getting a geo-arbitrage strategy, getting a financial strategy that has your family safe in famine, safe in chaos, maneuvering through, tapping into the spirit of Yah and seeing, okay, what is about to happen in America when these strikes take place? I don't want to hear anybody saying, if you guys see anybody in the comments saying this is not real, this is fear mongering, please go to their comments, hit the like button and rebuke them, because this is a time of warfare. For anybody that is left in the dark pretending that Iran did not just express jihad towards American people, understand. Every news source is covering this. This is a reality that Iran has expressed towards you. And if you think for 1 minute that you can trust your adversaries in the United States or your adversaries in Iran, I just don't want you to be fooled. You should have your full faith in Yah, and Yah is going to tell you, do not put your trust in Iran. Do not put your trust in these nations. Do not put your trust in them. You need to be going to the last safe havens on earth, which are in Southern Africa. Some are in Western Africa. These are the last safe havens. I mean, let's be quite honest. There are even people who are European and white people who are studying out the scriptures saying, hey, we know the promised land is in Africa. I started seeing that. I said, Father, wow. The nations are truly waking up. You know, when the nations tell you that typically don't like to tell you these things, hey, I studied it out and I'm looking at Ethiopia and Kenya to be the promised land. I'm looking to see that ancient Israelites are from Africa and not from the Middle East. My, holy war. Somebody say religious end time Jehoshaphat war, where Yahuwah himself in the book of Joel. Wow. Prepare for war. Tell the nations, prepare for war, because I will plead with you for my people, Yasharel, Yisrael, the promised seed. I'm going to plead with you for my people, because all of the nations, Psalms 83, had a hand in their slavery, had a hand in the slave trade, because remember, we had the Arabic slave trade happening as far back as 900 BC, spanning 1,000 years plus, enslaving the children of Israel, not only the children of Israel, but enslaving African descendants and Hamitic peoples, enslaving blacks across the globe, trading them even across the Indian Ocean. Let's be real here and understand why these wars are taking place. Now, 29 minutes ago, coming from Newsweek, look at this. Do you see what this says? CENTCOM says that the IRGC and its proxies must halt attacks or risk further military action. My, 29 minutes ago. Well, I'm just going to tell you something. The Iranians are not going to halt attacks on U.S. military bases. They're not going to halt the attacks. We took out 40 of their leaders, and now they're like jihad time. Iran is not going to buckle down. This is a prophetic war. This is a war that has to come to pass. This is a war that's not just go eat spaghetti over there in the United States of Olive Garden, put a napkin over your face and pretend nothing's happening. They are saying that they will strike U.S. soil. And I just want to know if you plan on just betting on that and telling them, no, you're not going to strike it, because they're already striking U.S. soil in the Middle East. If you don't understand geopolitics and international policy, when you strike a U.S. military base, you are striking, guess what? U.S. soil. The same way, if I'm out here in Mauritius, I go to Port Louis to get my new baby daughter's passport. The minute I go to the U.S. Embassy, I am on U.S. soil in Mauritius. Please drop a comment down below if you understand international finance and geopolitics. This is your time to flee America, period. I'm gonna say it plain as day. Jeremiah 50 and Jeremiah 51. Flee the lands of the north. Why would Yah say this to the prophet Jeremiah? Why would he say this extreme word, flee? See, when you are to flee somewhere, it doesn't mean pack up your coconut oil all slowly and go to Disney World and go do a cruise in Florida, do another cruise up there in Martha. No. Flee means take what you have with you, pack what you have, get your birth certificates, your passport documents, your residency goals, your frameworks that you have with you on hand, get on a plane and exit while you can. That's what flee means. Flee to the mountains, run to the mountains, because the time of war is here. Joel 2 is here. Joel 2 and 23 and Joel 3 is here, where Yah says, I'm going to bring them to the valley of derision. I'm going to draw their spirits down so that these nations do not have any choice but to come and cross each other and confuse each other while Africa rises, while sub-Saharan Africa rises, while the heat pressures are going through Europe, while Spain, Italy, France are going through turmoil, while the colonizers battle it out and duke it out with Iran. Because remember, just yesterday, Ukraine said that they are entering the war because they struck Iran. Iran is not the type. They just said jihad. They said, all y'all got to go because y'all just struck us and we didn't have a problem with you. We were just trying to go up there and get some weapons over to Russia because we're helping Russia. Listen, anyone who cannot receive the end times message just is not going to be ready. Try to get courage in your spirit. Try to get strength again. Your helmet of salvation, your breastplate of righteousness, your feet shod with the gospel of peace, the sword of the spirit in your hand. Have yourself armored up for these times. But you see how in Ephesians 6, it doesn't say close your eyes and pretend that nothing's happening. It says armor up, get ready for the battle. At the end of the day, the Most High prophesies through the prophet Isaiah and tells his people, you are my end times battle weapon. You're my end times warrior. I don't want you to go out and fight nobody. I want you to be in the spirit praying and preparing. I want you to be in the spirit praying and getting your finances together, praying and building your business, praying and planting your seeds, praying and getting on a plane to evade the destruction that is coming most certainly to America. And it has just started with the Jihad war that they are doing currently in the Middle East. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, stay discerning, get some networks across the continent of Africa, because when this thing comes to its full fruition, there's going to be nowhere that's safe in the Americas. There's going to be war all across Europe, and your last final safe haven is going to be these pockets that are in the African continent and on the African islands. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next one.